Last time on Legacy, we came t- we came together after completing our last mission and brought Kino Pool to the collective and made a new ally, which is always nice, especially when the ally has a big giant turtle. Making some friends and kind of getting to know our new ally Valette a little more. We got her officially part of the guard, part of the initiation that we've all been under. She was like, not really hesitant, but confused the entire time. I guess it's natural without memories. But really, the thing is we trust her, and while she may not fully comprehend the gravity of signing up for the guard, I feel like she understands enough, and she understood enough to say yes. So what am I gonna say but welcome aboard? We had a little fun at the bars, danced a lot. We had a whole dance party. We learned a bit of, back in Petra's homeland, they had their own special dance that Kaishin knew. I guess Kaishin's seen a fair bit. And we had some our fun in preparation for the next adventure, searching for the blood gold treasure. We forked over the idiot tax and decided to get the map after all, which made it a lot easier for us to navigate our way. Luckily, it didn't take us very long at all, and we got ourselves to, well, if memory serves, it was kind of like a drop in the middle of the ocean, or like a cave. And we ventured forth, knowing that our fortunes and probably a lot of blood shed was going to be down below, knowing our luck. The blood to be shed, however, was not that of enemies, but of ourselves. As the guardians of this place offer challenges of self-sacrifice to earn the right to the treasure. It is not an easy task, but we took it on. Half the party went over into a chamber where they had to endure physical pain, and the other had to endure mental pain, but the mental pain they had to endure was being the unwilling participants that inflicted the pain on their allies. Shen, Chesarax, and Declan went into the room of mental pain, but Declan's mind couldn't cling to the challenge and so was left aside. Tram, Valette, and Petra went into the room of physical pain, but Tram's strength was too strong, so he too was brought back into the center. Through the efforts, Kaishin and Chesarax didn't realize that they were hurting their allies, but to Declan and Tram, it was clear to them that their friends were in danger, and in a moment of panic, offered their own safety on the line to provide some safety to their friends. And, well, the offer was accepted, and Tram and Declan had to dive into the memories of their allies, risking their own life to find the truth. And the truth was found. Declan learned that Kaishin once spent his days being treated like royalty with slavers, with foreign prostitutes and other unsavory folk, but the truth was that he didn't want to be this, and the memory that he saw was the first time that Kaishin rebelled against this lifestyle. Declan learned that while Chesarax was never one to hurt the humans, he was banished from his home and denied his original gender identity for siding with them. Tram learned that Petra unfortunately had to do what must be done and has taken lives of family before, but the sorry, how to best word this. the traditions and mannerisms of speech would never quite be broken by Petra in reality. With Valette, it was a simple memory of understanding that Valette's form of combat preferred firearms over anything else. Eventually, we all passed and succeeded our trials, and had a moment to rest and reprieve with the islanders before we returned to claim our treasure and claim the next step in our legacy. No. I will use it only for the dumbest of rolls. Can't give the girl a break, can you? Does it need to be
do this.
the one who's strongest, or the one who's willing to sacrifice? Then I'll take it.
Petra is also ready to sacrifice, Kaishin. Is he sure?
You've done enough. Get in there and break something for me.
She reaches forward and kind of caresses your face. She's very proud of you.
Uh-huh. Listen, if I don't see something looking absolutely haggard and afraid of you, I'm gonna make fun of you for the next day. And he gives you a bardic inspiration with that. And he'll jump into the pit. I would like everyone to know Kaishin walked over, turned around, did a little salute, and cannonballed backwards into it.
I've never had to break a butterfly out of its chrysalis before, but we're gonna have to. We'll need to go through this door.
Do not worry, we will get her back shortly. Petra knows that all of you are more than capable. Oh, I love this music.
Seeing how slow it's moving, you just see Chesterek kind of look around. Well, I don't know how this is gonna work inside, but let's give it a strike. And he will cast Call Lightning for a dex save.
If you can't see a point in the air where the storm cloud could appear.
I can't. Alright.
It either has to be a really big room or outside.
This is some close quarter stuff.
It is... doubt Moonbeam then would be able to work then, would it?
No, movement work.
You can read the moon for that spell.
Well, we're not gonna go into details on how he creates the moon then, but it happened.
What do you mean? You got two moons right behind you.
Nice. Alright, so you're just gonna see kind of Chesterek, and he is going to reach down for what little dirt he can scrape off the ground, and as he casts it, it kind of mixes with the pollen from his hair, and you just see this glowing orb kind of appear high above the room as this beam of light comes down to strike him. And that'll be EOT.
Well, Tram is surprised to be acting this fast. He's got his shield up and he is going to try to draw this thing's attention. He's going to surround it with Petra, hoping to keep it between the two of us. And he's just going to try and take a chunk out of this thing's stone-like body. Keep it simple for now.
Oh. Danger sense procs. You know what? I'll throw Cheshrax's Bardic into that. 13.
I glanced at the saber, a little surprised. I'm not sure if that made it better or worse.
Yeah.
Oh,
You got an
there's
extra attack,
all right. Wow. I will attack the little one in front of me.
We're gonna be overrun.
Fair. If you can break them all up before their turn, the Moonbeam will do a lot.
Interesting little predicament. Okay.
Now I know you're a wizard, but don't fucking fireball this room.
I know.
Feel it.
I have more self-control than that. Alright. Let's see here though. Before this thing started splitting apart, I did have an idea, but now it's out the window. Alright, so I think I'm just gonna swing my claws, honestly. Or actually, hold on. I'm gonna be moving away anyway, so let's go ahead and move behind Petra here. I am aware. Well, nothing I can do about that.
We're going down swinging.
All right.
Okay. I. And this is what you said, 100 feet drop. Well, let's find out what happens if I jump. If I just jump 15 feet in the air. Well, let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything I want to do here besides that, or. I'm just gonna do an action dash, so it's gonna be a total of 60 feet of movement, so an additional 45 feet of running up. Yep. 60 feet. I'm gonna just give myself a 6 dot. And EOT with that.
After seeing Declan get absolutely clocked by that guy, yeah, she rises up with a hissing noise bellowing from her throat as she will say in abyssal vastness and Orochi, as she will take on the forms of the armored basilisk and also take on the titanic transformation. Actually, that's the wrong one. Attacker. She's taking on Orochi. And will go into a reckless swing to counter the punch against Declan, against the fragmented god here. Okay, for 12 points of damage, non-magical, if it matters. Okay. Dex. Okay. I also need to take 2 damage from the transformation real quick. And seeing that one straggler, the tail is going to come around and try and slam onto it. This one, since it's not close to any allies. For 13 bludgeoning. And then Petra will prepare herself, EOT. And look over to Chesterax. Please get to Declan quickly.
I did not roll it yet.
Okay. There we go. Oh, we are about to have a bit of a chain reaction. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Well, what's the text on it? I think it's like start or move.
End, I think.
Yeah, I can post it. Yeah, if they end their turn in there.
First time it enters the spell's area on the turn, but I think it's he's kind of the same as the same creature. Yeah.
Oh. Get away from me, tiny pebble.
You have advantage on me until you hit me in the first. That will hit. Okay.
It's
Okay. You don't have advantage anymore. Both hit. Okay.
Eight.
It.
Yep.
Ooh. All right, Petra, I'll take care of Declan, but oh, I think I got a lot of people that need to help, and he will cast. It's an action, right? Deals number. And so once again, you kind of see his hair grow long, and you see that kind of leaves and pollen start to swirl around Declan and kind of start clinging to him every single which way. And he will heal. Not that one, not that one. For 30. This is no time to be napping, Catman.
Alright. The hallway above me is not closed, correct? Sure, okay.
A whole bunch of bad, from what we remember.
Traps.
Hmm.
Let's see, how do I play this? Alright, I would like to get Declan out of there so Petra can have some fun. So, I'm going to... Reading, making sure. I'm going to use Protect Ally as a bonus action on Declan to pull him next to me. If he is willing. Try and keep him away from all of the other explosions going on, dangers. And then as my action, I'm going to... Oh boy, I don't want to create more. I am going to... Sacred Flame the one that's on Cheshirax.
Rex braces himself to get exploded on.
Yeah. They're wonderful. Yeah. Yeah.
Still don't have a good answer for this scenario. I've been racking my brain and I don't have a good answer.
Dodge.
Tram would probably be yelling out to focus the tiny ones to get them off the board before splitting more. If we can.
Let's see. Yeah, for the time being, he's just going to cast Mirror Image because he does not want to be a liability in this fight. So. Let's see. He will position himself. Actually, oh, this will be good for now. Yeah, nothing flashy, but it'll have to do.
And then these hands are wanting to get out, they said, right? You want my friends? Too fucking bad. You know what you do get? A blender! I cast Cloud and Daggers on them. And I will hold my ground because I know they're trying to get. I'll get like maybe like 5 feet up or something. Like they'll just shove my feet so they can't touch me. But I'm gonna put cloud of daggers on them. And so they are wanting to come to me. They are having to walk through a literal blender. What's that? So I will roll you the first set of damage. I'll grab you the description, but I believe it is when it enters a spell area for the first time or starts its turn there. So, yeah, if you give it a turn, that's when you proc it. Oh. What?
Considering how each one explodes and how injured we feel, Petra closes her eyes and reaches out to the Crimson Crawler Queen. This fight is now best utilized together. Awaken! And the carapace becomes alive, crawling over her Naga half until the armor activates. I'll use my bonus action for Crimson Soul. Wish for more, but it'll probably take one of those, so not the worst. As the crawler forms over her tail, and she will strike down with that bonus action attack on the one next to Cheshirax. And you'll go reckless as well. For 10 piercing.
I
That's good.
also owe you 2 Constitution saving rolls. Yeah.
Okay.
I think so with the, what was it, 11 damage I took? Yeah, 11. So, yep.
That was my bonus action. So my main action, I will attempt to punch this one here at the south. For 14 bludgeoning. Dex save. Okay, we're doing really good. And final attack, I'm gonna slam my tail down on the last tiny over here. For 14, and then Dex save. Oh my god. Yeah, I imagine Petra is launching them into the air with her tail and then punching them so hard they leave and then pop around her as she gets some motion to give Cheshirax some room. But that is it for Petra.
I mean, he looks up, he hears all these booms, and he's going, well, at least she's keeping her promise.
He also has
Oh yeah, that.
Ooh.
Which one's
yeah.
blue? Okay. And then it still has an AC. I think it's 13 on the illusion. Okay, that's what pops up.
Oof. I don't want to use them all up now, but I might have to. Better heal or okay heal? Nope, gonna have to be better heal, but a touch is hurting really, really bad, Chistrix. Don't worry, I'm gonna. Don't worry, I'll be over there shortly, and he is going to make sure he's avoiding at least one. Can he go through Petra's space? Gotcha. He'll take the difficult terrain, then he'll still have it. Because he can only grab a hold of Tram. And he is going to cast Cure Wounds. Stay in the fight a little bit longer, okay?
I'm trying. Let's see. I like only having 2 right now.
But they can become 4.
They can, but I think I'm not going to be the cause of that. I'm going a bit defensive. And, oh man, let's see, do I do that or... I don't trust Falcon, he rolls too many crits. I am going to... stay wounded so that I'm a juicy target. I'm going to take a dodge action. I don't have much for a bonus action. That's alright.
Alright. So. It's in these situations I kind of wish I had my Dragon's Breath. Well. C'est la vie.
That blows.
Gotta live up to my reputation. Alright. We'll just swipe out with some claws. We'll take it on the right. Not that it matters. Kind of skeptical if I want to step away at this point. Last time I did that, I got the shit knocked out of me. That's true. I'll leave it be.
I'm going to take the dash action and see if I can't get out of here. 60 feet. Okay. will hop up out. And I will give Petra a healing word.
Aishin, is everything all right?
Yeah, he points over to the skulls. We don't want these all to light up.
What must we do?
Not die.
Affirmative.
Working on it.
And healing word to Petra. His healing word is not die. So he's talking, and what do you have to do? Not to die.
She may have an idea.
And well, 3 now. I'm gonna keep the cloud of daggers there as a deterrent, and hopefully they will just stay down and see what happens. Okay.
All right, Petra has an idea. With her reach, she's going to attempt to grapple this this fragmented god. Yep. So let's see. Oh. As her arm, since she has reach as in Titan form, her arm comes down, grabbing him by the top of the head, and just, with all of her might, begins pulling him, trying to get him away from her allies, and would like to attempt to throw him over Kaishin. Everyone, avoid just taking further harm. Throw him into the pit. Hmm. 4 out of 7.
That's 5 now.
Is it 5? That goes 1 plus Declan plus 1 proc plus him would be 4.
Okay.
He wrote it out, I thought.
So I cause 1 proc, Declan caused 1 proc,
The last
the
one does say
daggers
3,
caused
okay.
1 proc.
Miss.
Has a ability to move people, but that causes damage and is not great.
I mean,
So-
unless it's your high roll, I don't think that's gonna pop him.
Do we must finish him off?
I don't want to pop him.
I can take it.
Yeah, right. Chester slides him up and down. Hold on, I think I can grab a hold of him. And you know what? No, never mind. He kind of eyes him like, no, maybe not. I'm just gonna make sure you stay standing. I don't know if you can take it or not. And he's gonna give you 1 more healing word. There, room's all yours.
I am going to try and grapple this thing and move it away. Try and shove it. Oh, that's a good roll.
Petra stronger.
Oh, wow.
But so is Trent.
Yeah, we'll shove it 5 feet straight back and advance on it. Actually, I'll position myself over here in case it tries to leave my range. Alright, since I shoved it, I don't have a second attack, so that is it. Oh, I do? Okay. And I will take a
Push it
shot.
further.
Did I take something down?
Oh. That's not good.
All you had to do is throw it in the hole, Tram.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, well, let's see. Alright, so, hold on. Do some measurements. Close quarters are really not my thing. Why would you do this to me, Falcon? Alright.
Take them out. Explosions are worse, are not as bad as their punches.
Alright, so... Web's out of the question because they catch more of us than, well...
Yep, I took it out by 10.
Yeah.
Alright, so... I was going to... move off to the diet. Hold on. Because if I move... Is it possible to be like right here and just show them diagonal? Yeah, I have a climb. Okay. I'm seeing if I can push this thing diagonal. If that's possible. Alright, I was gonna show. Alright, since he's tiny and not medium, would that confer any advantage on athletics? I think so.
I think if they're bigger, you have advantage on defense. I think.
Be 18 with exhaustion. shove him 5 feet away from me. Yep, that'll do it for me. Yeah, I'll stay. I'll just. How high up can I get? That would be enough to get away from the tiny fucks. Like a cat, scurry up.
Okay. I'm going to pop. I'll try. Probably have to try to pop at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna make a short bow. Oh, or do. No, I'm gonna make a short bow shot on the one on Jeshrax. Blink. For 9.
Really not liking these pebbles.
5, 10, 15 as he gets up in front. And I will hold off with that.
All right. Now it's a calculation of what exactly I should do with my turn.
Tram is urging you to take them out.
All right. I will begin on my furthest left here and come down with my tail recklessly. Okay. I will attempt again with my punch. Okay, 11 bludgeoning. Shit. Alright, I'm forced to do it. I'll have to use my last hit die to activate Crimson Soul one last time. God. And attempt to finish him off with the bonus action Claw. Okay. And try and get it there. EOT.
On Tram, cutting words. -1.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Win. All right. Seeing how close they are getting to Tram, Jistrex is going to step over to the side, and he is going to have his hair reach out and try and yank this creature back 1 space and do some damage. Correct. So he's going to pull it back 1 closer to when he pulls it in. Ah, I've been due to win one of them. I'm gonna be picking that one out for a little bit.
I'm going to attempt to pull that thing closer to me, away from Kaishin and Petra. So I move one spot to the right, so it's only near me, and then I'm gonna take a swing at it. Yep. Yeah. That's alright. If it moves, I can swing too, so that's all good.
Alright. Well, hanging on the side of the wall like Assassin's Creed style, he'll fling a firebolt now that he's finally not within 5.
Here, I was hoping you're gonna launch yourself at like Will Ferrell did in that one movie.
Mm.
They hate my GIF. Whatever.
Oh shit!
It would have.
Oh,
Toxic.
cruel.
That's
That is-
toxic.
That is
Wonderful, but cruel.
That is.
So we were beating her up this entire time. All parts of her. Sorry. Was Tram okay? That was
I'm fine. It sucked, but I'm fine.
Are you sure you need a little bit of a pick-me-up?
I
Or
just
maybe
took
we
care
can
of
take
some
a
of that.
breather?
I wouldn't mind a breather.
Unfortunately, Petra will not benefit from any breathers. She cannot reach into the Crimson Crawler again. She must rely on what strength she has left now.
We can help with that still.
Jessica would just kind of like really closely eye your armor. Fascinating. So much better than all the other armor I see people wearing around here.
Well, she's alive.
Yes. It's one of the things I like about it, is you almost like, if you allow him to go up and like kind of like caress the armor a little bit.
When you're caressing it, you do feel something wiggling against your face as her antenna seem to kind of respond, and it's just lightly tapping you around the face.
Well, apparently it's a friendly piece of armor too. Likes lots of folks. He like feels the tentacles kind of hitting him.
He's a good boy, Crimson Queen. Do not eat him.
How are you holding up, Cheshire Axe? You look a little worse for wear.
Oh, I'll be fine. It'll grow back. He kind of goes up really close with his hand, kind of, or his hair kind of glowing. Are you sure you don't need anything? And then he almost like starts to smell the air around you, as if like noticing for the first time. There's something off. Not
natural, or at least of this world, about you.
Tram just doesn't say anything.
Hmm.
Well, are we taking a moment? Or are we taking on the next challenge? Ah, there you are, Chief.
Then let us begin. Petra will put her faith in you. Petra is stuck as a giant snake tail is kind of thrashing left and right.
I mean,
Alright,
wouldn't you be
put your
out of your
shoulders
rage at
into
this
it.
point?
Eventually, it would become a snake skin as she would crawl out and it disappears. Ah, she's got to stop getting stuck in places. It's embarrassing.
Nope.
Nope, still here.
Just quiet.
Can we take a breather at the bottom of this, or we
I
pressing
think we have
ahead?
to keep going, just Rex.
Right
This
into
is
the
a
next
challenge.
trial.
Gotcha.
Do not fret, Cheshire. This may not be combat, but it will still test us.
Well, just want to be as prepared as possible, but thank you.
Are you ready? Petra will open the door.
I just hope it's not a written test.
A written test would be preferred. I don't know what you're talking about. Something where I don't have to risk my life.
Petra's not the most insightful, but this is ominous.
Keep hearing about a
Perfect.
spelling bee. I like bees.
Nothing like a sacrificial chamber to end the day.
Does anyone recognize any of these creatures or beings upon these pillars?
Well, I can take a look to see if I can decipher any of their language, if it has any of their writing.
12 pillars in total.
Kaishen closely inspects one of the pillars of the tentacles, and you hear him like go, yeah. Ah, okay, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
No
it. I don't think
clue,
that.
do you?
I don't think that's a human.
You don't say.
Chester's
I mean,
gonna
I'm not sure, but
He goes back to looking at the totem in front of Petra. I'm not sure if there's any writing on it, but anything that would pick up on comprehend languages or anything like that. Okay. Um, gotcha. Anything he might be able to infer from them using his skills? Both.
Petra also has proficiency in history.
Could Jessrus give guidance?
Well, I think we're using the exhaustion of the where it's -1 off the rolls. So go ahead and do religion.
Maybe she can identify any of these creatures that she knows live in the monstrous world.
I had to take a guess. It's talking about how their clan came to be. But it's difficult to understand the details.
Maybe the dried blood signifies that a story unfolds by the price of blood, but to go in the correct order.
So, kind of going back around, does it sound like it? I mean, if this one was like the death of, because we know that the chief is some sort of spirit. So,
It's possible it's far more simple. You just may wish for a sacrifice in each of these.
Question was gonna ask is, do the pools of blood look evenly distributed, evenly dry, or is there one more full than the other? Kai Shen does the good old dagger maneuver, just dagger out, grips the palm, and lets the blood drip. So like, give me the quick rundown. So we have death into rebirth into building foundation like this, right? Cycle. Then I'm gonna start here. Start with. Mhm. Tell you what, numerical value of 8.
How about now, average? Said he can't hear me. I think my mic was muted.
I can hear you.
Well, the stream. That sucks when it takes like an hour.
No way.
You remember the other day my Discord changed my mic drop? I think my mic might have got disconnected somehow because it looks like my mic was not hooked up. It's hooked up now, but the Streamlabs then defaulted to my previous setup.
Ooh,
Luckily,
do
you guys were heard the entire time, but it looks like I wasn't. Kind of sucks. All good. Think shit happens. I've been talking shit about you the entire game, average. All right, let's stop it. At least they saw you guys, and you know we mostly just had a combat. So, but I like to reiterate the room at the very least, so the viewers can kind of understand.
Yeah.
Right now they're in this trial that they're in. There seem to be pillars around them that represent the creation and destruction of the clan, of the tribe that settled here. This is the beginning and or the end. This is the leadership that went on to build the village, the totems that built their tradition, and then slowly the creation of their people entirety until we get to their destruction closer to the roots slash tentacles. Now the characters are assuming that they need to go in a particular order and offer blood since they have dried up blood vials running to the center. Shen has taken initiative to drop his blood first, where it began or perhaps where it ended. That is where we pick up.
So, red monkey blood goes into here. What does it think?
Okay, you put 8 into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
As you put 8 of your blood into the little stream that runs down towards the blood gold, this happened.
I died.
No, you just lose 8 hit points. And your segment lights up.
Okay.
So do we think it's an order thing or just a fillet thing?
I think according to Declan, the way you described the hieroglyphs, it seemed like they fairly told a cohesive story in order, right? There's not anything that like lines up in like a cross.
Not from what I understood. Yeah, it seemed like chronological.
Sure,
almost-
but you've now started at the end. Are you going to now jump back to the beginning, or do we do this in reverse order?
Who
Let's
says? Who
repeat.
says? Who
And
says
with
that this?
the rebirth.
Who says that that's the death is the end for them?
If we
Kai Shen
think,
puts another
we-
8 in.
if we believe in it, death is something that all creatures are before they are alive. So is it truly the end or is it the beginning?
I've always thought of it as a cycle, almost returning back to where you came. Not really ending, but just continuing in another form.
It's another sign. It's another sign of Ouroboros. Go ahead.
Real quickly, sorry. We let up the second one. The previous image animates. Shows the head, kind of like falling from the sky, and then it's quickly approaching a rock. When it lands on the rock, you see a baby and then a family begin to form. But the current one has not animated. It seems to be animating the previous one.
Another 8.
Anything more for Declan to discover as far as that goes? If he's looking towards
Give me an investigation. Now you just look for details in the delusion, not less the history.
sure. Let's see. Yep. 16.
And you have disadvantage, correct? Or
It's the -1.
oh, I keep forgetting. You're so used to playing the other one. I actually kind of I like it. It doesn't screw skills over immediately. Yeah, you're seeing that the head falling was falling towards Earth. That was just kind of symbolization of the start of this family, and that this is the beginning. So he chose the right one. And then Shen, did you offer it up again?
Uh-huh. 8 more.
Okay, now, Declan, we'll wrap this into your 16. You could see the chief, the people, there's probably about 15 of them, and they're putting gifts, gold, and all types of jewelry and everything, just donning this person that they decided will be the chieftain of the village. And when he finally fully gets decked out, you see him stand up and kind of, he's not actually saying anything, but he's waving his head. It looks like he's making some type of declaration. And you just gather from that this is this is where the people truly began to become a people initially.
Aisha, after doing 3 bouts, will start to kind of lose his balance from the loss of blood and prop himself against up this one. Looks like it's working.
That is enough.
As Petra says that's enough, you'll see Chester X almost kind of like break off a chunk of bark just deep enough so that you see some like greenish ichor start to kind of trail out of his arm onto the receptacle for 8, same amount of H points, 8.
Please wait, Cheshirax. And she's not stopping you, but it happened. So
I'll be fine. It'll grow back.
you all have
You gave
suffered
up
enough
plenty.
today.
Says the woman who's taken a beating since we walked in this door.
We're
And
all gonna
she's
have to suffer to finish this.
well, at least allow her to take the next 2 from you all.
Well, as long as we don't have to do this again.
Is Declan sure this is the correct course of action?
I mean, it's showing a reaction. So, and this temple seems to be awakening in response to it.
Lord Ouroboros, if this is another sign, then allow me to take upon your form as I make my sacrifice. Believing the Ouroboros has something to do with the cycle, since it is the eternal cycle, she'll expend one of her rages just to take upon the form of the beast form and take some damage. She'll take 4, and then she's going to put 8 points into the next one of damage to herself as she kind of begins orming along the receptacles.
Okay, so Shen, as you and Declan stand there, you could see that the village starts to get populated here. They haven't truly found their identity tradition-wise. They're just kind of discovering how to survive as a people, which will be next birth of that. But already, even this early, whether it's the greed of humanoids or the evils in the world, you were shown a series of wolves, symbolic mostly, not even really wolves, looking down on the village, gathering in great number, slowly creeping towards it.
So that was from Cheshirax doing that one. Petra did the next one, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, and then you see the totem. But what you don't see when the totem was initially there is it shows you why the totem's there. The village is already in disarray, attacked, likely by other tribes. Maybe it was literally wolves. So, what do people do when they're scared and afraid and have nowhere to turn? Religion. But they start praising to a god who seems to appear out of thin air in the form of totem, a golden coin on its forehead, the exact same that's centered in this room. For the first time, you get a little bit of audio. It speaks to all of you in the room. Build a temple in my name, and you will have your safety. Spoiler for those of you who read the later chapters. But anyways, continue.
Does anyone
One more.
recognize that voice?
Was it familiar to the chieftain or anyone else we recently interacted with?
No. It was pretty neutral.
Yeah, I thought so.
Tram's holding the hand up, holding Petra and Declan off. He's gonna do the next couple.
She had said at least 2. She is to look after you, after all.
We're all looking out for each other.
And
But-
she can handle it.
If you can handle it, I'll back off this one.
And she gives you a brief, hug. Do not worry. We are together. And lets some of her wounds drain 8 more points from her into the next one.
Okay. And as you do that, this one, after religion, comes the people. You see that after serving this blood god, this golden god, the village thrives. The settlement has expanded to about 10 times its previous population, and you can see the wolves on the hill are shaking and running away, fearful to attack such a powerful settlement.
I have a bad feeling about this god.
Hush now, we're still in his presence.
Alright. Tram will take his open hand and then run it down the length of the saber and drip 8 points into this one.
Okay. Here you can see the beginning of the village downfall. Everyone seems to be getting fat off of food, and they're really lax, and they start to turn their back on the blood god. Stop realizing how they got here. And the totem notices as the image ends with the totem just kind of looking at the village. And then its face is like it was donning a new mask. It went from a neutral, just kind of teeth gritting look to a frown. As it switches its face, it just spins. New face appears. Frown. And that's all you get from that.
Alright, once that one wraps up, Tram will clench his fist tighter over this one and drop another 8.
You light up this one again. They're always the previous statue that you guys are seeing, or pillar. This one, you could see fire begin falling from the sky, and it looks like meteor swarm. You're familiar. It's a 9th level spell, and it starts to just rupture the village. And visually, it's not insane, but the amount it can cover, especially against commoners and nobles, this is Armageddon.
Tram continues, drops another 8.
Okay. You can see that after the village is bombarded, the totem begins to crack and split into 2 at first black pillars, splitting again into 4 black pillars. That is where that division ends.
Sorry, is it 2 black pillars split into 4 black pillars?
Yeah, it split into 2, and then the 2 split into 4. Kind of remind you of how the fragmented god split up.
Mm-hmm.
I could use a breather. Declan?
He'll walk up to the next one and he just takes his sharp nails and just dig it into his palm. It's kind of serrating his palm a little bit as blood trickles down.
You don't get the tentacles yet. You just get the previous pillar. And this one shows you that they are now splitting again until you get 12 pillars. And as they get 12 pillars, the entire village begins to sink, and water replaces where it once was, forming an ocean or a sea or something otherwise vast over where the village, the tribe used to be. And the pillars continue to dig down and down and down.
Anything special about these pillars that he can tell, or?
Now kind of seeing that and realizing that it's splitting into the pillars, I think a religion roll for a god is appropriate.
Okay. I'm gonna use my inspiration for this one. Unless anyone can help with the religion, that's
Only history.
gotcha.
No religion, but I do have guidance if that can be used.
Yeah, you can guide it. Help him recall any information he might figure out. Okay, really good roll. So, I'm actually going to propose an alternative, Declan. I'm going to propose a few things, and you get to take your pick. I can explain to you the black pillars entirely, or I can explain to you the gold that you're feeding with blood entirely, or the effects on what your blood will do when you finish this.
Probably the finished, because he's wondering if this isn't some sort of seal. He's wondering if it might. They might be doing something they might regret.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you that in its entirety, but without spoiling the coin and the pillars. So there will be some information that understandably is missing, but from what's important to you, I will reveal. 1, the amount that you put, the sum, the total of the blood, isn't as important as it being the same. So once you decided the value was 8, it had to stay 8 all the way through. You started with 1 or 2 or 3, as long as you kept that same number, it just had to be equal. If at any point you then change the value, the entire pillars reset to nothing, so I'm happy that we didn't experience that. Finally, once you put in the final drop of blood and the previous pillar story is told, you will awaken the old totem, the old god, blood god. What that means, you're not certain. That's wrapped into the pillar's history. But you do know that you're calling forth the god, and you have suspicions that, is this really the trial? Or rather, were they nice to you this whole time to get their god back? Small price to pay, since their spirits are from the blood of their own. Of course, some of these thoughts may not be real. They're just things you might consider.
So kind of like going through these thoughts as he's connecting some of the dots. This tale of an old god. He looks to the group, revealing his own potential revelations. Is this something we should be trifling with?
I
Was
got a
it this-
bad feeling.
Was it the blood totem that led to the destruction of these people?
When they forgot who they owed their appreciation to.
I'm not
There is
used
at
to
least-
worshiping. Go ahead.
There is one more less tale we could see safely before completing it. Perhaps there's insight to be gained from the last one.
The tentacles.
I'm not saying we go all the way, but I think it might be worth at least that one more.
I'm just not used to gods taking so much. I'm used to nature giving bounties, not harvesting blood from its creations.
Nature takes much as well.
It's cyclical, though. This feels
different.
Is it though? Their death leads to a rebirth, and it continues on and on.
No, this is sacrificing part of you like this. No. It just
It
feels
was
so
our-
off.
It was our decision to come here, our choice to take on these trials. If we do not finish it, what would that make of us?
People
Fine.
who are smarter
Perhaps
than their
that's the
predecessors.
trial.
And as you say
Making the
that,
right decision.
Chesterek is about to give Petra and Tram both healing word or
No.
cure wounds.
Petra will hold her hand up, like, to
Mhm.
Jesrex. Trying to cheat a god may not go over very well.
I just want to prepare for anything that comes next, as he offers to Tram then.
I'll hold his hand up too.
I think Declan, are you willing to offer enough to at least get the last story?
I am willing to do that much.
More information can't hurt, but I still wonder if... Well, let's see what this says.
And he'll dig deeper into his palm.
Tentacles ride up from the sea. Kraken, old, kind of pulls in this temple and protects it. As the tentacles wrap around and kind of expand out into the sea, you can see that the people who survive the initial drowning that are floating up top are being pulled down, crushed, and their blood fed to a golden token. And in that vision, you can see that each of the ranks slowly begin to fill up until 12 blood vials are filled. Upon the 12th one filling, the tentacles reform into the totem, the blood god. And the first thing he does is consume the Kraken whole. No effort at all.
So he's trying to see if there might be any connection. I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot of experience with it, but he's had some contact with writings of Diagabal. But there might be any connection here.
Okay, that calls for a final religion roll.
Anyone else want to offer up advantage?
I'll offer one
Is-
against those.
Just a guidance.
17 plus whatever your D4 roll is. So 18.
18.
Alright, so you know that the Titan gods have been around for a while, even before they were Titan lords, and that they have many followers. And kind of the story as old as ever, you know, the angel that lures you somewhere and she turns out to be a succubus or Venus flytrap. It's beautiful until its mouth closes. The blood god for these people, they never understood it, they never knew it. What was Dagobah? One of his many forms crafted. And that's who you potentially will bring back into this world. Suppose your skills, well, I guess, whoever, if anyone ever told you skills don't matter, they lied to you. You got some information to work with there.
Now, is there way to kind of like if you were to like take your foot and stamp it down and like try to like smudge the blood out of the pools, is that an option?
think we already know one way to do that is to not evenly put in blood.
Yep.
So I was
Yeah.
gonna say I'm gonna offer I was gonna say we could offer a singular point to end the cycle.
Tram nods in agreement.
So
Petra raises her tail out, ready.
we're basically teasing Dagobah and not letting him finish.
Are all of you dropping one or?
Oh,
No, I
just
think
Just one.
a singular point, a singular drop of blood into there, I think is the idea.
Okay. Who's offering up that singular drop of blood?
Petra will. If this is to confront Dagobah, Petra looks over to the last vial. My peep. Go ahead.
Kaishin is kind of a little. He's trying to figure out the situation. So we're almost certain that it's Dagobah, at least in some form. But the Titan Lords are already here, aren't they? Like, is this the Dagobah or some part of his consciousness?
I mean, would we want to see any part of him though? I can't imagine we'd want that.
So, okay.
I think based on what you've learned, particularly Petra, interacting with the guild captain and Declan's knowledge, that the rest of you can come together that one possible way for this to be Dagobah, there is something that one of you possess that this could also be.
A remnant.
A remnant. We know that as long as a remnant exists, the creature can never truly be destroyed.
So this gold coin could be a fragment of Dagobah's soul as a remnant.
That sounds useful, but also very dangerous.
As much as I would love the power that he holds, is that something we want to exist? Or I guess the question for you all, here is the one risk I see of simply walking away. We know this is here. What happens to the next group that takes it?
Maybe they tried to take it. Maybe they failed, because there's no way to truly take power from a Titan Lord. He threatens what people I have left, my family. I refuse to give him more power here. I will not bend to him.
You're right. I'm sorry. Perhaps the idea of his strength was a little too attractive for a moment.
Is that not what these stories tell? The price of power.
I think we're standing in the tomb of those results.
Shen, the very just contemplating this, what I put in chat was like pulsing in her head. Take it. It'll be yours. Deserve it. Earned it.
He will reach out his consciousness to that voice. What? You're not gonna introduce yourself?
We already have. You see like spectral images of the entire clan to these pillars, speared and spiked and hanging on them, laying around. Hundreds, maybe thousands of them scattered between the 12.
any idea? You've caused so much pain to my friends, Diagobao. And now you just want me to what? Give you more into this world?
All the people just start talking. You'll have us, the tribe. You can carry on our names. You already have a remnant. Look how it has aided her. You could seize the power. Do real change. And the little kid, please, mister. We ain't gonna hurt nobody that you don't hurt. By the way, none of you are seeing this or hearing this, but you can see, obviously see Shen would be looking around when there's dozens of corpses all of a sudden, right? So you guys can probably see him looking around and stuff, but I won't speak for any of his other actions.
Declan kind of leans up against the pillar.
What's... Alright, and be frank with me. What's the price I pay? What do you gain from this?
And you hear a deep voice. Judge to live. See to breathe. But not in a way that would defy the one who wields me. Like just the possession of the remnant alone. That's him to just see new things, hear new things, feel new things. But not in a capacity where he's gonna rise up and start blowing shit up. I want to put at the end of this, allegedly. Alright, Declan, go ahead.
Yeah, Declan leaning against the pillar, kind of contemplating. Playing devil's advocate. We can take this straight to the guard. See what they wish to do with it. Possibly even take this evil out of the world.
That's a good point. Would they have the means to destroy it, possibly?
Well, they deal with everything against the Titans, so...
My largest concern is that if we leave, this remains. Someone else could potentially stumble across it. Someone without contact to the guard.
But
Someone
there
without
have
the means to destroy it.
there have
Read
been though. The vials were dried with blood. That means people have come before. And they have
And
attempted
failed.
this.
We've come this close to succeeding. Someone else will as well.
It's only a matter of time.
I'm not saying I'm right. Declan's got a valid point.
Can I attempt to roll an insight on whether I
Yes.
because
Yes.
I can tell there's desperation. I'm trying to decipher if this is the desperation of someone who is locked away and wants to see the world, or if there is nefariousness outside of it.
Okay. I would say because there are hundreds of people talking to you, you'd have disadvantage to pinpoint what you need.
I'm gonna use an inspo to make it fun.
Spectre, you have no levels of exhaustion there.
No.
Okay. You think one, it's if it's not obvious, you feel like it's a bad idea. Because all 12 of these vials have blood in it. So others have likely also filled them all up. Where are they now?
Mm-hmm.
And who's to say it's only a remnant? The only people that told you that were the people who are trying to get free.
Kaisha will look to the group and says, "Do you trust me?"
Of course. No hesitation.
Kai Shen looks up and says, they've been speaking to me. And he pulls out a prick and he calls out to them. You've talked to me. You've told me about the power. You've told me about what can be done. We're now so close, aren't we? He says out loud.
Then you all hear the voice of his commitment. Yes. Do it. Please, mister.
You feel so close, don't you? So close to freedom.
Yes. An old man, please. Just a few drops of your blood. Our tribe will survive.
He stabs his finger and puts a single drop of blood in and says, well, and you take that enjoyment and wait for a couple millennia. Maybe someone dumb enough will find you.
And then as the blood drops slowly, like time slows down, you see them wiggling on they're just like they've got nails through their hands against these pillars, and they're just trying to wiggle and scream, no, how could you?
And you just hear Kaishen cackle, like just laughing at them.
And as it drops, the light fills up in the story, but at the same instance, the gold coin in the center begins to flip. And the entire room resets just in time. But since it was the last one when you reset it, you still get the complete story. You feel like hearing some more lore on these final two pillars.
Oh, please.
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
definitely.
Okay. After the tentacles were absorbed by the blood god on this pillar here, which you unfortunately only get by completing this place by the normal means as we can assume, you see Dagobah rise up in a dark room, look down on the creatures who brought him to life, all of which are always very injured from sacrificing their blood, and he siphons their souls in a single attack, which is a saving throw. If you fail, he eats your soul and he returns, getting just a tiny bit stronger to one day return to the world through the sacrifice of the people here. In the final pillar, you could see that once he has accumulated enough souls, and this has never happened yet, going back into the story of, is this the end of the beginning? The final pillar shows us a future that has not occurred. Shows us that if this temple is ever fully, if he could fool enough people with the blood gold, he will return to the world, not as he was, but twice as powerful.
All right, thank you. He looks to Petra. Thank you for bringing me back, because that was honestly tempting for a second. And everyone, thank you for trusting me, because I really wanted to fuck with them after they messed with my head for that long.
Oh, we have a visitor.
You did the right thing, Kaishen.
Well, hello. Oh, don't tell me you're mad. Come on.
It turns to you. Its mouth begins to rattle. And something falls out of its mouth onto the floor in front of it, and it rolls, skipping through the blood, hopping up over Tram, falling on the floor between the three of them. Fizarak, Ken, and Tram. And the deity says, you have completed the trial. Fighting against the greed that was the fall of our community. The food, the gold, the protection, the wealth, and all of its curses. Let us turn our back against a creature whom we should never have served in the first place. You were presented with that same greed today. Take up against the blood god. Or defy him. You have completed your quest. Bizarre and Kai are happy.
No.
Shen picks up the coin, kind of plays with his fingers a little bit. And to be confirmed, this is not an attunement item. It's simply an item that can be used once per.
Anyone can flip it, but once it's flipped, there's a chance you can't flip it again. So, well, obviously it's a success. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it's a failure where you can't flip it again. Never mind. But it's both. Anyone can flip it once. You all right?
Kaishen kind of gives a little bow to the idolic deity and goes, well, we're just gonna go home now at this point. You have a nice sleep, and I don't know, maybe we'll see you another time.
Don't worry. I am not Dagobah.
Well, I know that. If you were, you probably would have tried to kill me by now.
There was a small group of tribesmen that served another god, forgotten in this world, and I'm one of the forgotten. But I do not care to reintroduce the details of what or why I am who I am. But know that those small group of people placed me here to reward those who turned away the greed of their people. And there's one more thing before you leave that you may wish to consider at a hefty price. You could sacrifice another drop of your blood to the pool, and I will give you 1,000 gold. You can do this up to 8 times, which smarter mind like Declan would see that it's based on the sum that was traded between the whole room initially. Doing so permanently reduces your body's strength. So if you give up 1 hit point, it's gone forever. Do it up to 8 times to get 8,000 gold. It's a hefty price. Anyone can do it for a total of 8 times.
As soon as he starts talking about trading anything for gold, Tram just turns and starts leaving.
And you just hear Petra's body come right after you. No. She needs all of the strength she can muster.
Choice is yours. But it is each of your choice to make.
I went this long without much gold. I'm not gonna change that now.
Kaishen gives 3.
Are you sure it is a permanent reduction?
I've already deducted it.
Okay. The big ass coin in the center opens its mouth, spits out 3,000 gold pieces.
Pleasure doing business.
Statue nods and goes into the now open mouth. But it goes slow just in case there's any more people that give. Or the mouth would close, eating the statue where it resets and all the lights turn back on.
Are you a fool?
Yes. However, this was more of, well, my strength is in many areas. I am a little weaker in my constitution, aye. My blood a little thinner, but that doesn't make me any weaker. Also, at this point, I could already tell that that idol spoke truth. There was no deception in his words.
Please. We need to find trust in one another. We are not in best shape and very far from the conglomerate.
Oh, here, I gotcha. He'll throw a healing word to Petra, Tram himself. In that order. So Petra, Tram. Oh, sorry, wrong. Ignore that. Petra, Tram himself.
Okay. As you guys go through this narrow path, it feels longer than ever. But Let stands at the other side, safe just as the chieftain promised. All the people are still here, but the trap, they said, has been disabled. Come. They walk out to the main room, and all the people are just clapping and praising you for doing a good job. Most people fail there. They give up all the blood. They feed the god that both raised us and destroyed us. Unfortunately, until you complete the trials or fail them, us spirits are forbidden to tell you the truth behind the third. It is up to your character, your knowledge, your strength to overcome this Dark Lord. You have done that.
If you don't mind me asking at this point, Diagobal wasn't actually in there. This was representative of the history, right?
Daggerval's real body has not been there for a long time. The only thing possibly there is a Titan's Bane.
Okay.
A bane. Declan, your mother possesses a bane.
And I wouldn't wish that fate on anybody.
It's true. It forces one into servitude. When you draw near, say, this temple, you may wind up just like me and my people, serving their Gravals direct, feeding the souls. But at the rate of the people who have came here, I could tell you this. It would still take a few hundred years for enough people to feed. I have some advice. That map, someone always comes to collect it from the dead. Same person who sold it to you. He may try to buy it back from you. But you have achieved what no one else has. I'll tell you this. See to it that that map never finds the hands of anyone else. This place is very hard to find. It is but a small rock in a vast ocean.
Tram turns around to whoever's got the map. Burn it.
Well, Tram has a good way of thinking, but let us burn it after we use it to find our way home.
We have a portable lighter. We're good.
Chief Heskin,
Yes.
I was thinking of taking this a step further than simply burning the map. But I figure I owe you all the respect to ask your permission before doing such a drastic measure. I was thinking of collapsing the entrance to your home.
Our people are here forever. Putting people through these trials are not something we enjoy, but we cannot speak freely until the trials are complete, which always ends in the death of those who came here. Collapsing that, the top of that gives us hope. Maybe if the souls are not fed every now and then, we'll be able to really rest. Eventually the power that sustains this place has to fade, right? But it certainly is being fueled. You have my word, for whatever that's worth, and permission.
I wish you and your people a pleasant rest.
He nods. Your friend, he stormed out of here, and reasons we understand. Please, let him know that the Heskin, we ourselves are not evil. We are victims, blinded by the same greed that could easily have taken any of you. And we are sorry. Good luck, Declan. You and your group will go far.
Thank you for the lessons you've given us here.
And they all kind of bow and watch you all leave. They kind of go into a tribal chant. And they keep going and going until you guys finally hear it through the tunnels.
One thing,
Sure.
as Petra watches them begin to chant and perform, she will bow her head to Heskin. She cannot thank you enough for this trial. While it is not the outcome needed, it has strengthened her character further. She will not forget you, and she will carry your strengths with her in the future. There's one thing she wished to know. Does the name Ouroboros mean anything to you?
Ouroboros. Yes.
Known as the cycle, the eternal consuming serpent.
What you went through is exactly that. One of a few. Did you see the pillars that represent the beginning and the end, and then they reset to eternity, to infinity? The Ouroboros is forever, eating itself, but before it finishes, it's born again.
Petra has been seeing signs of the Serpent Lords. She does not know what they mean.
They represent their Gabal.
Ouroboros and the Basilisk, they represent Dayagabal.
Every Titan Lord has its lieutenants, powerful creatures that can destroy even the strongest of beings. The Ouroboros is exactly that. One of its lieutenants, but also a symbol of that cycle that you saw in that room.
Petra's already really pale as an individual. You can't get much paler, but somehow just grows paler still, almost as if just like her face becomes blue as she looks down at her own hands. She must leave this place. She bows politely, but then she quickly slithers up the stairs.
Go. Be better for this world's sake.
We will. And farewell.
Farewell. And that, the completion of Blood Gold. Your reward for that blood, 3,000 GP and a coin. Whole lot of history.
As we all exit the temple, Declan will point his hand towards the entrance and just unleash a fireball to try to collapse it.
Okay.
Seeing you kind of destroy it, Chesrex will definitely offer to help.
As your fireball forms, you wonder if it'll be enough. This solid stone, ancient structure that's survived the test of time. So as you're about to release it, lightning is called. Both of your attacks kind of fuse in that instant, making a tornado, a storm of voltage and flames. And the entrance almost screams out a cry. And not only do you collapse the entrance, but the entire structure disappears. You don't see the rubble, you just see the ocean. Investigations yield that the entire foundation below it, which was vast and massive, gone. And you feel this is right. You don't feel like it survived this. You don't think it's some trick or some defense that will make it spawn elsewhere. You think you succeeded. You think you did something right. That is its own reward.
Let's get out of here.
Feel the world's a little safer now.
It's a step in the right direction.
We've gone through a lot in this temple. Even if the final encounter wasn't a fight, it felt heavier than a battle, probably. Let's not worry about the survival check home. We use the map, we travel, we have time between each other to think, and we arrive at the cell rack. Now, if you want to RP that travel, by all means. I will put us on the cell rack map. Well done, players.
On the ride home, Declan will look towards Petra. I'm not going to try to say I fully understand everything about your culture. But even if some of your power is derived from this Diagapao, you're not tainted. You're probably one of the most pure people I think I've ever met. So try not to look down on yourself for this.
Declan, you see Petra looking down at her hands, which are shaking at the moment. Declan does not understand. His blood, his power, it runs in her veins. The same creature that aims to destroy her people. And now how do I know how Petra won't be used to kill her own people? That it won't take control one day.
If that happens, I'll do what I can to stop you.
Tram's overhearing it and walks up at that moment. Because I've seen what you have inside of you, Petra. I've seen the resolve. You have the strength to fight it. That's how I know.
Her people have time and time again taken the lives of so many creatures so that everyone can live. Things that deserve to live, not allowed to because of their ability to be good. If Diagabao's blood runs in her veins, how can she be good?
Because of the things you do, the things you've already done. You've proven beyond any doubt that you are good for this world.
It would be safer. She, hesitates. She could be a threat in the future. She could hurt innocent people.
So can anybody else. Or far less. You've helped a lot of people already. And to simply give up now, to be honest, seems kind of silly. I know it's a difficult revelation, given everything that's happened to you. But if you stop now, what has it all been for?
It doesn't change that her people need her.
Exactly.
Now with every second, they are suffering. by Diagabal, by his daughter. And she looks down and just thinks about everything she has heard and everything she's experienced, thinking to the captain, who is the daughter to Diagabal, the Merilith Queen, daughter to Diagabal. She never knew her father. Now she worries that it's not just the blood she ingested, but she has control of what she has control over her destiny. She has control of what she chooses to do right now. And if you all will allow her, with misbegotten power, she will use it to protect the world against him, to save the people that are dear to her, and to protect those that have become dear to her. As she kind of moves up and just wraps her entire body length around the crew. Together.
Tram smiles a little. Don't think on the blood that's inside of you. Think on the blood that you chose not to sacrifice in the moment, when you had every opportunity to help release it. You chose not to.
Let us break the cycle together.
You're more than your blood. You're more than your past. And you're more than whatever Dagobah wants of you. You're Petra. And Petra doesn't give a damn what anyone else wants but herself.
Well, she cares a lot about what all of you want. You are her flock in this point. And then her eyes kind of blink as if there's a realization. Remember the statue in the church back in town? He possessed the symbol of Ouroboros.
Did he?
On his belt, the symbol of the all-consuming serpent.
Okay, a little odd. We can look into that later. Like the ghost man said, Ouroboros is as much a general as it is a concept, so we can have faith in that much. But yeah, let's look into that a little bit, maybe. Trust but verify.
But with a Naga level group hug, she is back to business.
Petra, you'll notice that Kai Shen still has a degree of awkwardness around you. He accepts the hug, but I think for a moment he wants to resist, but he relents.
Let us go home. Or temporary home.
Home was where you hang the hat?
She does not have a... Well, she looks up at her head ornament. It's more a headdress than anything.
We can get you a hat. We don't want... I mean, hell, you're pasty as it is, so I don't want you to get a sunburn. Have you not burned yet?
Petra's skin is relatively resilient.
A hat'll look cute on you. We're doing it anyways.
Can it be one of those straw ones with a very wide rim?
Oh my god, you're reading my mind.
When you see the sail rack pull into vision, clouds clear. In the distance, you've returned to your current home, your base of operations. The animated boat pulls into the docks. Another mission well done. Probably time for you guys to get back to the Phantom and take a long rest. But first, someone walks up to you.
Better be. Damn.
Ah, you made it back in good health. I take it you don't need the map anymore. I'd like to buy it off you for a generous sum.
Tram just walks straight up to him and stares straight in his eyes for about 5 seconds.
Wait. May I speak for you for a second? He's talking to the tram.
It doesn't break his gaze, but just steps back.
I would imagine Petra's kind of assisting, 'cause she is like supporting that whole very angry mom look. Like, you have
He,
fucked up.
He pulls the tram and just whispers, "There's nothing there anymore. Might as well just take it."
Doesn't mean we should give them the opportunity to find anything.
There isn't anything to find.
So we think.
Come
I'm kind of with him on this one.
Excuse me. Would you at least like to hear the offer?
Yes, I'd like to hear the offer.
You brought the map for 200. I'll be willing to give you your money back since you no longer clearly need it. But since you went out of your way to travel, find it, and whatever else, who knows what happened, I'm willing to quadruple that value. 800 GP for the map. Think it's reasonable, and what use is it to you anymore?
I guess my question to you is, what use is it to you?
Map is an heirloom, not just a map, one of a kind. I'd like to keep it. Maybe I'll sell it again one day, who knows?
$1,000 and you got a deal.
700.
I guess you don't want it that much.
9. At least meet me down somewhere. That's not even the middle.
Alright. Show me the money.
Yeah. Takes out a coin purse and he pulls about a few of them off his belt. He pulls out 4 of them, and each of them have 200 gold in them. And then he empties out half of them because that would only be 800. And he gives you 900.
Consider it a deal.
He looks really excited. He grabs it, he kind of hugs it, and puts it into his pocket. Walks off.
He looks to Kaishin. Easiest gold I ever made.
Yeah. I'm just hoping we didn't underestimate him.
I mean, I feel pretty confident that we destroyed it, but still don't like giving any help.
It's fine.
I'm not saying you're wrong, Declan. I mean, granted, we're scamming a guy and also adding a potential risk to the world, but it's a risk, and I think while it may not be the wrong idea,
He's a scammer himself. Why do you think he wants it so bad?
I'm just saying we have to acknowledge that we at least did add another risk to the world.
He tries to send people off to their death and then collects things off their corpses.
You guys are discussing that over here. Tram and Petra, you can hear him talking to some customers. Yes. So 2,000. And then these are like nobles that want to get even more richer. And you see him counting 10 bags of gold, similar to his. shakes their hands, and you see these nobles, about 4 or 5 of them, walk off. And Aristo. Good.
Just looking something up, but as he was trying to make that sale to them, he's within 60 feet. I'm gonna zone of truth his ass.
Oh.
Yes. You will find many riches here. You will find. It's like mute, and they're like, "We're out with it." Well, when you go to the location, it will. Sir, the details. He's not able to utter a lie.
Yes. Why don't you explain to them what they'll find?
Looks back at you, and he's starting to realize magic's in play, but he doesn't know why, because obviously words can't leave his mouth. And the customer's like, "You've got 1 minute to explain this." Fortunately, there's still about 8 minutes left of the duration of the spell. He tries his damnest to work around it, but he's unable to, and the customers just grab their bags and walk off. And Aristo falls to his knees, defeated. And you get a point of inspiration.
Looks over to Tram and is like kind of nods in agreement and goes, "Consider that 900 gold a teaching fee for the most important lesson in a merchant's book. Fool's gold never lasts long."
He looks so pissed, but he doesn't say anything, especially here. It's not like he can do anything. But he waves his hand to the sun.
And by the way, all sales are final.
He just kicks this stool, and then it just collapses on him. It's like, "Oh!"
All right, Tram. Well played. I know you didn't agree with what we were doing, but we were already trying to scam the scammers, so that was cherry on top.
Petra is very proud of you, Tram.
Tram's just staying quiet.
Fair enough. You didn't agree with us in the first place.
Hurry up, I want to see the dancers. I'll let it wait for you guys. And Captain Mitchell just kind of bows and nods to you guys, see that you're doing good work. And once you guys all get into the Phantom Dancer, party and drink ensues. And I'm sure you tell them about the craziness of what occurred.
And also report that Aristo keeps sending people to their fucking death.
Yeah, of course, report him.
We don't report his ass, Jesus.
So we'll assume, for time and stuff like that sake, that you fill her in on the big details. So you guys are talking. Laz and Dagon are just kind of there at the bar with you. Malamasha's behind the counter, and Captain Mitchell looks around. She's being really suspicious. And then when no one's looking, she slips into the bathroom and starts to do her duty. But Anthemia looks at you and goes, "Wow, all of that." And I thought that was just going to be some type of side story.
No threat is small enough, it appears.
All stories deserve to be told.
Officer goes, "That I agree." And then he brings you guys out shrimp. And he just has this awkward look, and he's just like, "What? Officers and shrimp aren't the same." He puts them out on the table. Tibia goes, "This is interesting. I'll have to go for myself." Actually, no, I'm too busy. Getting late later. Malamasha, take Dagon and Liesel to the location. Let's just make sure it's properly destroyed. Anything to do with the Titan Lords, is there? Serious matter, of course. In any case, all drinks are on the house, and from Ray Lobster's special food, Since you weren't given any reward that you truly didn't blood, sweat, and tears manage of your own, outside of that filthy merchant, I think that that'll be a suitable reward.
He kind of looks around, and he looks back to Octavia. Where's Kasumi, my mom?
He tells you she's resting.
Should I be concerned?
No. Your mother, from time to time, the Titan Bane tries to collect its price. So I put her into a stupor, would you? I suppose is the easiest way to describe it. It's like, it's not like sleeping, but a state in between life and death. But I assure you she's perfectly safe, or I wouldn't put her through it. Anyways, you can think of it like a recharge to gain back her strength. Your mother has withheld a lot of details from you, Declan, for your sake, no doubt. But the truth is, she suffers every day that's around her neck, a pain that she's grown used to. The moment she adapts, it only worsens. So we try to give her breaks when we can. She didn't think you'd all be back so soon, or she might have had us wake her up sooner.
I just wish I could do something.
Trust me, Declan. We don't want to see her suffer either. She's been in our company for far longer than you all have, and she's like family. Malamasha throws her arm around Shen. Exactly. And now your family. And we look after ours. So if there's a solution, we'll find it together. I swear on my dick.
Well, if you're swearing that on that of all things, then I have half a mind to believe you.
There's nothing more in this world that I don't love than this gun here. I even love it more than Captain Octavia. She saved my life plenty. No one messes with the dick.
It's
Thank
quite
you.
the impressive dick.
She waves up her Moby Dick, the name for shotgun. This case, this first time viewers logging off. Yeah. Puts it on her back. She smiles. Now, let's get those meat and drink going. Figure out what's next for all of you. And now that you got some real money, these shops just got a lot more delicious, didn't they?
Captain Octavia,
Yes?
is there a way to know if a creature possesses Titan blood inside them?
There is a test, but it can only be ran on the mainland. Or rather, our main base of operation.
Petra would like to request, if she makes it there, that a test be done on her.
Their group just gets more and more interesting.
She has received information during this trial that makes her question who she is. She must know these answers.
If there's one thing being a member of the Obsidian Guard will do to you, rather being a hero in general, it's questioning yourself and if the sacrifice, the cost is worth it. So question yourself. It's good to ask questions, but you must stay true to yourself as well, and then you will discover that the answers, preferable.
Thank you, Captain Octavia. No matter what result, Petra aims to be a protector, and that will not change.
He smiles. That's all we ever want from you, and for the rest of us. Now I see your friends are all fighting over the Dragonfire arrow. Good choice, good choice. But it's limited supply, very expensive and hard to make.
Fashion will switch to the Night Stalkers for the next day.
You don't have to eat it. She tells you that the magical food won't expire until you take your first bite, and it's on its little clock.
Magical doggy bag.
Yeah. She looks around and says, "You know, the missions and stuff here are very similar to what you'll experience in the Obsidian Guard. A bit more tailored to what we feel the world needs, of course. As far as I'm concerned, you all are well on your way to being proper guild members. And so I want to issue you all this." She gives you a paper and she puts an anchor on it, which you would think breaks the table, but as she puts the anchor on it, which you see that her ghost light blade, which has lux in it, turns into the anchor. It then has this ghostly green tentacled fire around it. And she says, "There will be trials in the Obsidian Guard to decide whether you're worthy of the rank that you'll be entering as. Most people enter as silver. But if you can collect one more of these documents from any of the Obsidian rank members, you will enter as gold. This is my stamp of approval. You already got the moon. Now you only need one more. Total of 3. The card that the other Obsidian member gave you guys was also his stamp of approval."
Well,
Would be the other Obsidian member.
yeah, the guy who made that undead dragon.
Well, Kenny was the one who gave us the moon, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
he was Obsidian, I believe.
Ah, Kenny. That was his symbol. But sometimes he gives it to his lackeys. He's pretty laid back, that Kenny. But yes, you have his symbol, mine's, and now any other Obsidian will automatically promote you to gold upon arriving at the guild, at which point you will take the gold trials instead of the silver. And believe me, jumping from no rank to gold, very few have accomplished. And with it, immediate higher pay grade and resources.
Oh, let's see if we can earn that.
We must meet a third Obsidian and show our mettle.
Well, there is one Obsidian I know about. Care to hear?
Petra's all ears.
And tail.
And tail.
So, and she points to, let's make a little deal. Since my role to play in this is just to give you my approval, not someone else's. You take care of a right proper guild mission. She shows you Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you where the next Obsidian is outside of the structure of the Obsidian Guard. One who will also be able to take you to the Obsidian Guard should you garner his favor.
Let's do it.
It's time we gather our strength, and we will accomplish this together.
Of course, tonight you should take a nice long rest, drink some mead, and I think I'd like Cheeserak to join me in my chambers again. It's not really
Again?
me. It's my sword. She wants you, and I always give Lux what she wants.
You like see his hair kind of like stand on end again. Oh, I just healed up from the last time. Okay.
He smiles.
He grabs like another cup of wine as he starts kind of like swaying over a little bit as he's like downing him.
As Petra downs a drink, she looks to Cheshirax. Have fun. Things are never as casual for us.
Before you use a potion, I can heal you up more before the night ends. Save it for
True,
when we
I
need
just
it.
don't have any hit die, so.
Save.
Well-
I think I can get you back up. Save it for when we need it.
Okay.
So you guys could take a long rest here, but the trip was a day's work, remember? So you sailed for a whole day with your thoughts. With considering spells being replenished, I think you'd find your way to full hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Just people would be low on their tank, but there's nothing we're doing
Yeah.
today. We're gonna long rest again.
Okay. Alright.
We got magic.
We got magic, and more importantly, magic. We have time to use that magic. So, Petra, with a full health, all of you. And one final thing Octavia says, people are starting to talk about you. Your name is starting to spread. Some could say that you're garnering fame. Now let's roll fame for the mission. This mission has yielded each of you a very good amount of fame. When you deal with Titan Lords, the value is going to be a lot higher, so it shouldn't be something you expect. Even completing Rogue One might not be as much. But you are going to be rewarded with 3d10 plus 30.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Nice roll.
That's whenever you deal with a major Titan Lord. Not just the presence of them like fighting the Sahuagin, but in this case, you are in the presence of a Titan Bane and one of the Titan Lord's burial sites. That's huge. As you guys are rolling fame, Dagon thinks something else is up and jumps towards you, Petra. Deck save.
Here we go.
Watch out! You avoid him, but what really happened here is he saved your Dragonfire Ale, reminding you that there's magic here, and he hands you back your ale.
So they're so thoughtful, and she pats him on the head.
That's not for drinking, unless things are really crazy. And he pulls a mug out of his beard, and it's filled with mead. Here, this is for drinking.
Oh, well, thank you. And she'll take it. And she looks in at first to make sure there's no spare hairs in there.
There's a few.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do some work now.
Declan calls out to Ray Lobster.
Yeah.
Do you know what what Kasumi's favorite meal is?
Yeah.
Can you have it prepared for her?
He's got it's a little out of the way, but I mean, I could do it. She loves to taste home, so I try to import ingredients from the Golden Sun. Have a little bit on hand.
I'll pay whatever you need me.
No. Bruh. Ray the Lobster. I got this. I shouldn't have hesitated. That's why I'm not a member of the guild. There's a guild hand. And you see him pull out these potatoes that are purple. And you remember them in your homeland. They grew under the sand for some odd reason, and they were purple instead of yellow like the sands. And they were far juicier when they were mushed down. Almost more like a pudding or grits versus a thick bowl of mash. And all of a sudden, everyone's taste certainly is a big taste and slice of home. And he puts it on a table, including some rare meats. Other stuff from scorpions that you find in the great deserts. Luxury, but must be prepared by a professional. It also doubles for the assassins of the Golden Sand as reliable and powerful, potent poison. And he begins to get to work, and he looks at you, and he's sweating because he knows it's going to cost him a fortune. He says, "My way of paying you back for the mission. The consumables were Octavia's design. This meal will be mine."
I'm sure she'll love it. Thank you.
And he gets to work. Villette downs a drink and tells you all, "So did you all really beat me up?"
Oh, yeah.
Oh, indeed.
Fuckers. And she goes down and drink again.
I wouldn't dare lay a hand on you, darling.
He smiles.
Meaning, I didn't. I was in a hole.
Now, if all of you don't mind, Petra has some practice to be doing. As you see her unequipped the Crimson Crawler and looks up at the dancer, she's getting the fittings she had gotten done with Kasumi. Room for one more up there.
Yeah, the dancers smile. "Come on up, you gotta learn eventually."
and she will get onto the stadium and most likely a little unsure at first with all the new faces, but she'll begin to dance amongst them, and it's very Indian in its style, I would say, with how her motions go, but it's also a combination of rhythm with the dancers. One sway equals a wave of fluid motion as her tail acts as support not only to her but for the other dancers that can grab onto it and further their own dancing as Petra joins in.
All right, they're very good dancers, so with their support, I'll give you advantage on your performance check as they aid you.
I do got that going for me.
Oh, well, if you got that going for you, we'll lower the overall DC needed to impress everybody. I was thinking of 15, I said 12 gets the job done.
A little rusty, still learning to dance with humanoids, but she, other than the awkwardness, Petra just slides between them and is just generally looking like she's having a good time, despite the news earlier. And she looks out to all of her friends at the table, where she wraps around the main center stage and leans back until she is almost upside down, looking at you all, and gives everyone a wink before she continues.
You see this old man over here grips his heart. Oh Lord, they said he'd never see the sun again, but here it rises. And that's when Dagon just tackles him to the ground and walks him out.
Yeah, understandable.
Understandable.
Had a mistake.
He doesn't yell watch out, and you realize how terrifying he could be as a combatant. And he shoots across the room like a bullet. Without warning, there's almost no hope of dodging him.
His true power.
Falcon, you need to make a Dagon ring.
Watch out. Oh shit. So Malamasha, she sees that you're pretty quiet, Tram, and she's just like, what's wrong, golden boy?
Oh, it's been one of those days.
Well, you want some good news?
I could certainly use it.
And she walks out real quick. She comes back with some paper. And she goes, you want to give this to Captain Mitchell and me? It's the arrest warrant for the merchant up top.
Tram smirks a little. I wouldn't mind at all.
And Captain Mitchell, being so close to you, says, I'll do you one better. I'll bring the troops, and you can be the one to hand it to him.
This day is starting to get better.
Captain smiles. Well, for the power invested in me and the people of the sales wreck, according to the power of the people and the leadership presented by the Obsidian Guard, Tram, you are going to be officially sworn in as law enforcement. But don't worry, you won't have to stick around. That just gives you the proper fancy term to allow you to stick it to that merchant with this paper and arrest him.
Tram just got a big smile on his face right now.
And he points to the door. Well, shall we?
Let's.
Automatically, you guys see that Tram and Mishral disappear out of the Phantom Dancer for a little bit, followed by about 8 guards. It draws a few people just kind of run out and watch. But Tram, in addition to handing the paper, we'll just say that you're in front of him now, and he looks at you, and he's just yelling at you. Get out of here, I don't ever want to see your face again. And guess what? The moment you and your friends are gone, I'm gonna sell that map. You can't stop me. I'm gonna make all the money back. I'm gonna make more than the money back. Wait, why are you with the guards?
Tram doesn't even say a word to this guy. He just smiles the entire time. He simply hands him the paperwork.
What? No. This is absurd. This can't be true. Dr. Mitchell looks to you, Tram. Well, Tram, is it true?
Oh, it's true.
He says, some would say, donor truth. And Aristo has to admit to everything he did because refusal to answer would result in his death. So under the zone of truth, which we can assume he supplied,
Yep.
he reveals that he's sent about, and he kept a ledger. He was almost proud of it. 47 people to their death among 13 different parties, and that he knew where he was sending them and why. He didn't care as long as he got his money.
As they were asking him these questions and admitting to all of this, and he's obviously under custody, I'm finding and taking the map from him, and I'm holding it up in front of his face, and I'm sacred flaming it and just letting him watch it burn.
No. And it disappears. And Captain Mitchell goes, "You've earned your rest, Tram. We'll take it from here."
Tram bows formally, just heads back in.
They walk him away, and you see that he's crying, and he smells like poop. And he feels so bad for himself. And you'll get +5 fame, Tram, for the scene you stunted in front of everybody. Okay, now while Tram is delivering literal justice, what are the rest of you up to? We're closing out here in a little bit, so feel free to RP whatever you want. And at the end or now, we should consider if we want to buy some of the magic items and stuff here. We finally got some money. I think who has the heaviest vote is the guy who lost hit points for it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's fair.
But before we get to the potential shop, which we should probably end on, anyone want to do anything to close out their part in tonight's session to talk about something?
I think Chesrex is just gonna lean over to Kaish and be like, so apparently there's gonna be some whittling done tonight. I'll see you in the morning. He starts to kind of walk upstairs.
And Captain Activity goes,
Looks over at Octavius and has like that kind of piercing glance at Lux.
Miles, we're gonna have fun with him. By the way, we use a lot of tools, but we are all consensual.
You can have your fun, but he's mine.
Knowing your answer, she'd invite you to join the three of them. Then here, I know it's tempting to tell people you slept with Lux. But she walks you upstairs, and that's all she wrote. I mean, of course, there's a lot more. But
Tension looks back and he's kind of watching Petra dance, and he's happy seeing her happy, and you see a bit of like a look of longing, maybe would be the best way to describe it. A bittersweet look on his face as he sips his drink, and looks back to Tram and goes, "Take it you made up for whatever shenanigans we were pulling earlier?"
It's been dealt with appropriately.
Fabulous.
You know, I wasn't upset with the Hessian tribe when I stormed out of the temple earlier. I actually felt sympathetic for the situation, but in that place, I don't know, it's
a place of blood and death, not really a ideal vacation spot.
it's more than that. It's a reminder. It's a reminder of the greed and evil that roams this world, not in the form of a devil or a titan lord, but common men and women.
Common men and women are the most dangerous thing. Common men and women are what have given the Titan Lords this much influence.
Yeah, it just seems so much more straightforward when it's something a bit more monstrous. Something that seems to be deserving.
And when you say the word monstrous, you feel something odd around your chair you're sitting on until you realize you're being pulled backward as Petra's tail has slowly slinked across the floor and grabbed one of the legs, and you're just slowly being pulled up towards the stage.
What are you doing, Petra?
Dance with her.
No, that's not a thing I do.
Kaishin just starts whistling.
That's
Come
not
on.
something any of you want to see.
Come on, humor her. Please, look at all these women. They want to see you dance.
I don't.
Oh,
really
this will
think
be
any-
very humorous, indeed. You see,
Fine.
Girls, be nice to him.
The girls all just kind of giggle. Officer, can we have this dance?
He turns to the woman that said that, and he offers a very formal bow toward her and reaches a hand out.
And you see one of the sponsors of the guard is just kind of happy to see that the troop are recruiting reliable and strong people. And she begins to dance with you, kind of spinning around, and you spinning her around, and it's a good dance. It's a really
There
good
you go.
dance.
He's rusty, but when he was younger, living in the manor with the family, he had some formal training that wasn't all fighting.
And this time Lizard looks up there and goes, damn, he's not just a pretty boy, but a dancer too. Some guys got it all.
you know what he doesn't have?
What?
A sense of humor.
Yes, I know. The other day I told him a joke and he just asked me serious questions and I died inside. But you're not the only one going on secret missions, Shen. I've got a secret mission to go on right now. He looks around, waits for no one to see. Goes in the bathroom. Lets loose.
Is Dagon gonna rescue him?
Daggett jumps in the way of the poop like, no!
Oh,
I was thinking he was jumping out of the toilet.
He's jumping through the ass.
run away!
What are you doing down there, Daggett? Yeah, he just goes and takes a poop. Okay. Any other people want to close out their scenes with themselves?
I think
Just dancing with
Kaishin
Trump and the
was-
ladies.
Done?
Kaishin having his kind of self-reflective moment for a little bit was interrupted by the ensuing comedy, and he kind of shakes his head and goes, memory's best left there. No one needs it past. And just starts playing music and laughing along. Tram, you don't need an insight check to know that Kaishin is getting enjoyment out of your embarrassment.
And with everyone else dancing, Valette, sad that no one's asked her to dance.
Alamusha's there.
Kaishin's perceptiveness will look over and goes, I may not be the best groom, but you do have this monkey.
Then Malamasha just kind of wait. Their voice is
Oh.
instead of like a hard, heavy voice, he's just like. And when you say that, you see her just
Oh.
faint behind the bar. Shen, can
That's-
you hear me?
Kind of looks over and goes, hold on, sorry, I think, hey, what? Can you watch over the group for a second? I'm worried about Chester X for a moment. Kind of leaps over, grabs a drink, and he gives Melamisha a bardic inspiration. And he just says, Don't think, just do.
I'm gonna do a wisdom saving though. She can add that to the save, right?
Yes, and know what? No, even better. He casts Fortune Favors the Bold.
Nice.
So I will do a charisma save at advantage for her.
Okay.
16.
All right. And because he gave the inspiration, Monster just add that to the total. See how well she does. Is it a D8 at this point?
It is a D8.
Are you rolling it? You want me to? Okay, you got it. 19. He looks up and she starts sweating, and she's been eyeing Valette ever since she met her. And Malamasha just keeps looking at her, and she looks at you, Shen, and goes, "These muscles ain't for nothing. I'm gonna pick her up, take her to the stage. She's gonna have a good time."
Hey, what did I say? Don't think, just do.
And she looks towards the bathroom. "No, it doesn't mean that." She walks forward, looks at Valette, puts her dick away, says to her, "Hey, there's a rumor going around, that there's people dancing. The reason why it's a rumor is that they're saying it's us. And, I hate lies. Let me make it the truth." And Valette's kind of thinking like, that was such a lame pickup line, right? But I feel like Brenda would entertain it. "Sure, it's just a dance after all." Malamasa looks so sweaty right now that Valette just grabs the cloth first. And the two of them have like a solo dance on the stage over here. All done. Anything else in your scene, son, besides setting up Valette and Malamasha?
Like I said, he kind of forces his memories back into his subconscious for a bit. He'll figure out how to process those memories resurfacing later, and he'll enjoy himself. He'll count his gold, and he'll be like, "Yes, it'll be fine. Not like I'll need that strength later in a random attack from a random enemy, right? Nothing could possibly go wrong."
And Declan, I noticed you went to your mother's room. Guess you'll close this out before you're doing it there.
He's just sorry. Some people are distracting me in chat. But anyway, yeah, he just took the meal that was prepared, and just kind of sitting by wherever she is resting, and just will be there for her whenever she awakes. He's not gonna stir her or just wake her up early. He's just watching over her, and he's kind of thinking it back to what they almost did today, and just thinks really hard on, these are the type of decisions that they're likely to make very often in the Obsidian Guard, and just kind of thinks on the ramifications of what that could possibly mean.
Okay, and as you see that your mom is brought into the room by one of the guards, not expecting you, she looks kind of out of it, and she calls you by your father's name. Gives you a hug and a kiss on your cheek. Falls asleep on the couch.
And um, since she's not really.
Yeah, she's delirious from the stupor that was protecting her.
He'll just gently stroke her hair and he just comfort her. That way she's able to fall back asleep.
It's kind of cold in here, so I imagine like the whole blanket, the whole deal, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you just kind of in her sleep, she tells you how she's proud. She thinks you're her husband. So proud of our boy. That's all you get out of her before she returns to the land of slumber.
Gotcha. And he'll just leave the food on the center table.
Sure, she'll wake up for a nice midnight snack at some point.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other players like to close out themselves, or we good? We can do the shopping stuff real quick before we close out tonight. She's we already know 50 Shades of Fade over there. I'll do a roll call just because I know some folks might not want to. Oh no! Oh, stop. Either egg. I'm gonna call you to your name just to make sure. Tram, you settled?
Trim is good.
Petra?
All good here.
Chen?
I
Declan?
I ain't got none.
And she's like, I'm not even gonna ask. You just keep doing what you do. Oh my god.
God.
Oh my god, go to the bedroom. Alright, anyways. What have I done? Post. Now, for people watching the stream, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I won't end it. I'll let you see any possible shopping. But if you were just here for the story and the fun, we're pretty much wrapped up the session. The players, while I'm still happy tonight, is there anything you'd like to spend your gold on? And I will re-show you the shops. But if you ever need to find the shops, under player character resources, there's a shop tab. And then Cell-Rock Assembly, and here you go. I'll give you guys some time to talk amongst yourselves, and the stream will still be rolling just in case people really care about the picks and stuff.
I would like to make an important announcement.
Sure.
Tram's sword as a Minuteman is official.
Nice.
All right, folks. Any talks on this?
I know that Declan wanted the Ring of Feather Falling thanks to the money we negotiated. I have no issues with that. If that's what you want to put that money towards.
Is there anything in there you think I could use to prepare for this fight? Because I don't need weapons. I got my hands, you know.
I know
so I don't.
that. So
I know it's fancy to get a +1 like weapon magic stuff, but like I'm on a pilgrimage up the fist.
I'm gonna hold off on the magic weapon for now. I think for you because unless we feel necessary at a later time.
Nope, these fists do all the talking.
Honestly, if there's room for a shield,
But like a regular ass shield.
just a regular ass shield, because that at least
Yeah.
taught me out to.
It's like.
Oh, no, I think I already got one. No, never mind. I already got one.
Okay.
I just got crap armor. Okay.
I mean, druids don't get armor for the most part.
I got my hide armor medium. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and we'll find custom stuff throughout the game, whether you buy it or wear it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Any other items?
Well, we need to ask Valette if she would be interested in learning to make bombs, because I saw that manual of
Mm-hmm.
explosives.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, whether
Good.
that's something that she wants to
Pursue.
Yeah.
pursue. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Put that aside, we do have we have a respectable amount. Is there any other stuff, Ryan?
I think a circlet of blasting for one of you casters could be good.
Not a bad idea, actually.
A good fallback attack, just in case you need it.
Maybe. 625.
It's good price, so.
That's not bad, actually. Okay, hold on, let me.
A diamond.
625.
and you might not have a lot of opportunity to pick up.
Unfortunately, none of us here can currently cast Revivify.
I can't do Revivify. I can't. It's not on my spell list.
I honestly thought for a moment that it was on the subclass spell list, but I misremembered.
I'm not sure how much money we'll have left over, but Wand of Secrets is always a nice utility item, especially in a campaign.
Secrets. 500. It's a lot, but maybe.
It is a lot.
But it's just like, if you're sniffing around for secrets,
Now,
that'll.
feel free to veto, but the only thing I could possibly have any interest in is the Cloak of the Manta Ray.
It's not a bad one.
At least if more water comes up, I can take care of it and wouldn't have to rely on the food.
Maybe.
I can be vetoed. That's literally the only thing I would want, but it's your money.
So I have two thoughts. It is how much money we want to spend versus save.
I just know fighting this gold rank dude is not going to be easy, so just whatever seems the most convenient to have.
Well, okay, then here's what I'm thinking then. So we got the 900 spent on the feather falling. So we're just talking about the 3k that I gained. And with that, we can go 2 greater healings for 400. Bring us to.
Oh yeah, we don't need potions.
Plus 250 if we get the cloak. So that the 22, that would be 2 greater potions, you know what? I'm gonna drop the circlet. I'm okay with not having one. So we'll go.
Also, just to get in there a little bit while you're calculating stuff, we also have the ability to have stuff appraised here, and the item you got, the golden luck. If you did want to sell it, but it is a very good item to reduce exhaustion. This item right here is worth 1,500 gold.
No, we're keeping that shit.
Not worth it.
Yeah.
No, we're keeping that shit. I'm gonna say no to the circuit blasting for now, unless someone really wants it, because I can do some damage myself. So I think it's okay. So I'm thinking 2 graders, the manta ray, and maybe 100 for 2 commons. Maybe just have a couple extra pickups.
With
So
how
that
often
is-
Diagabo keeps showing up, I feel like having it would be a good idea.
That's 2 commons, 2 graders, and 1 manta ray, which is just over half the money. So I think that's fine. We can pocket the remainder for what comes next. That'll be my opinion. We could put in the 300 for a diamond. Should we think? God, now I feel like I might have to take Revivify.
Yeah, I don't know how I can grab it, unfortunately.
The only alternative is, I think, Tramacy to like or some shit.
Yeah. It'll be
Not for a while.
9th.
Yeah, not for a while.
Okay.
That's the important part.
Alright, I'm gonna hold off. I think hold off on the diamond for now, at least, since none of us can actively. So that'll be my opinion. Let me know if you have any thoughts. Alright. I think then for the moment we can double check later if there's anything that Valette really wants. But other than that, I think we'll spend the 1750 to get us 2 graders, 2 commons, and the cloak of the manta ray.
2 graders, 2 commons, and of course the 900 net earlier for the ring of feather. Okay. I just need to do the stock stuff here to make sure we're doing it.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna calculate the gold map now. 1.5. This one's 50. 1865. All right. And yeah, so now we have, and of the foods that were taken, all the Dragonfires, one set of Night Stalkers, and one Dire Steak, I believe it was.
Actually, I got a monster scuba accident, so thanks for that.
All right.
Okay, are we happy, folks? Well, if any of you stuck with us, we appreciate you watching this episode of Obsidian Guard Legacy. To see how our legacies unfold, you can join us again bi-weekly right here. Everyone say goodbye to the stream.
Bye, stream.
Bye, stream.
Later.
I bought stuff with my blood.
It's your boy Falcon, and he's flying straight into that bedroom.
Caca.